What is up, everybody? Welcome to the Couple on Fire podcast. On today's episode, we're going to talk about Chore Wars. Whoa! That's coming up
right now.
Thank you so much for joining us on the Couple on Fire podcast. This podcast is for couples, for marriages, and for families within the Christian community. We exist to help break the stigma that happens within the Christian community. We're talking about divorce, we're talking about addiction, and we're talking about so much more. We believe that all this is possible in this life, strictly based on the power of Jesus Christ and his ability to restore us fully. Let's dive in. What up, what up, what up? Welcome to today's show. I am one of your hosts, Josh, here with the always absolutely gorgeous Miss Kristy.
Hi.
What's up, lady?
Awesome.
That sounds awesome. I mean, whoa, hold it back. What's going on? What's new?
What is new?
I don't know.
I mean, we have a lot of stuff that's new.
We do? Like
Yeah.
what?
So we had a huge storm. It's been categorized as a catastrophe, right?
Catastrophic event.
Catastrophic event.
Yeah.
That is the word I've been trying to think of, and I keep saying catastrophe.
I mean, it's in the realm of...
Catastrophic event.
Yeah.
Okay, so some of you may have saw it on TikTok. There was TikTok videos going around.
We live in
had
Davison,
hail.
Michigan,
We
yeah.
had hail, like this big around, no joke.
Baseball size, yeah.
Coming down,
Yeah.
and we have both of our cars damaged from it. I mean, you need to look up Davison, Michigan and the events of all this. I mean, car dealerships lost like 400 or 500 cars, windshields busted out, back windows, all this
crazy.
stuff, campers. And so our house,
wild.
we need new siding, new gutters, new roof.
Yeah.
We think it hit a power line or something, caused a power surge. Our living room TV, which is the big TV, right? The big TV is always in the living room.
It's our main TV.
Like blew up, and yeah, so that's what we have going on.
Yeah, we have a couple things happening right now. On top of everything else, we're just
and
actually
Josh
talking
just
about
went
it.
back to school, so he just started school.
Yeah, we're just saying life doesn't slow down for you no matter what.
Yeah.
But, you know, it's that's okay. That's why we have insurance, right? And so it'll get taken care of. It's just going to be a very arduous process. It's crazy. So that day when all this stuff happened, you could see all of these contractors driving through the neighborhood. And then the next day, I mean, you would think that somebody's running for office. Everybody had one of those signs in their yard from all the different contractors they were using. Yeah, for real. Goodness gracious is right. But it's been crazy. I've never seen anything like it before.
I didn't know there was this many roofing companies, number one.
Right.
Because if you drive through a neighborhood, like he said, there's like so many different roofing company signs in people's yards.
Crazy.
And then the next day it was interesting driving through our neighborhood because so many ladders were out propped up against houses with people going up checking. I mean, it's like it was crazy. It was just crazy.
The weather today says tomorrow we're supposed to have another hailstorm.
Hopefully it's not like that.
Which is crazy. So, yeah, hopefully it's not like that. I mean, that was super dangerous. Okay, so today we actually want to talk about chore wars, right? Finding the balance and building a happier marriage.
Josh came up with that title, okay, and
Well,
I think that's awesome.
Super fancy of me. But I think it's important, right? So we talk about chores within the home. I mean, that is a major center thing of bickering with people with your spouse within your marriage is about the chores that go on within the home, right? Your responsibility, no, it's your responsibility, or I'm constantly doing everything and you do nothing, or you don't appreciate the things that I do. You know, no, you don't appreciate the things that I do. And I think that's just like a major center point of contention that happens within marriage. And I think today we really want to talk about, we want to share 4 things about how to get by it.
Yeah, I wanted to pull this up because we can't see who commented.
Oh yeah,
And
because
so
it was probably in a group.
I pulled it up and it's Jeremy and Jennifer.
Yep, we got you. We got you, Jeremy, Jennifer.
Yeah, and when
All
I
right.
replied to them, it just tagged them automatically in it. So if I reply back to people, you'll be able to see who it was.
Boom.
Oh, yeah.
Magical.
That wasn't even on purpose.
It wasn't. She's magic and you don't even know it. All right, so 4 things, right? So we want to talk about 4 things that can help you find balance when it comes to chores within your home, right? So kicking it off with number 1. Well, you want to start with the video?
Yeah.
Okay, so tell everybody, lead them into it.
Okay.
So we have a video to actually show today, which is super fun. This was Kristy's idea.
Thanks, babe. This was my idea. So one of the best movies I think that I've ever seen is The Breakup when it comes to the portraying a relationship and its slow demise, right? And like common arguments that couples have. And I'm like, man, this is so perfect. And every time we're talking about like common arguments in homes, usually this movie comes up once or twice. And so I'm like, we need to play this specific scene in the movie, The Breakup, because it's such a, like, guys don't get it and women don't understand how they don't get it. And then we're frustrated and the guy is frustrated. The guy wants to get it, but he doesn't, type of thing.
Yeah. So here we go. So just a quick clip. So enjoy.
Oh, come on. You know what? No, that's not what I want.
You just said that you want me to help you do the dishes.
I want you to want to do the dishes.
Why would I want to do dishes? Why?
See, that's my whole point.
Let me see if I'm following this, okay? Are you telling me that you're upset because I don't have a strong desire to clean dishes?
No, I'm upset because you don't have a strong desire to offer to do the dishes.
I just did.
After I asked you.
There it is. There it is. The famous scene, right? That everyone always talks about, right? That's the scene. I want you to want to do the dishes.
Yes.
Why do I have to have a strong desire to want to do the dishes, right?
And if you let the scene play out,
funny.
if you let the scene play out, there's one specific quote. You have to go through a lot to get there. They talk about lemons and
It's
they
so
talk about
funny.
all this stuff.
My baby wants, my baby gets, right?
There's one specific quote in there that she says, and it sums it up really well. It's like, because then they get to ballet, and he's like, you know how I feel about the ballet. And she's like, it's not about you liking the ballet. It's about you loving me and wanting to do something with me that you know that I love.
Yeah.
You know? And that's the whole point. Like, she wants to get the dishes done. It's not that she wants to do the dishes, but she wants to get them done so she doesn't wake up to a dirty kitchen. She wants him to help her. And he's just like, I'll help you later. And she's like, no, I just want to do them right now. And then they...
Yeah, because she's like, oh, I don't want to wake up to a dirty kitchen. And he's like, who cares?
Yes.
She's like, I care.
Yeah.
I care. So that's why, right? That's
Yeah.
a chore thing. And that is a common issue, right? I don't care if clothes are laying on the floor, but I do. I don't care if the lawn is in perfect condition and it gets mowed 4 times, you know, is what the wife says. And then the
I
husband's
leave my
like,
whisker hairs all over the sink. Or
you don't leave your whisker hairs all over the sink?
No.
Oh, okay.
I don't care if I leave the toothpaste cap off. You know, I don't care if I don't wipe all the water up around the sink, you know, when I'm done using it.
Yeah.
I don't care if I splatter toothpaste on the mirror,
my
you know,
God.
when I brush my teeth. You know, and then it's like goes back and forth because usually one of you guys cares and the other one really doesn't.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I mean, you guys are living within a household, right? And it's not only that, you have to battle with kids, but then we rub off on our kids, like the things like, I think it's okay that the kids do this or don't do this. And then the other parents the same way. So chores are like a center point of the home, right? Almost always you have one spouse that's a little more lackadaisical on things, where you have another spouse that's a lot more like wants things very specific way. Almost always is the house that way. Mm-hmm. And you can still function well that way. We do.
Yeah, because
we do.
more lackadaisical with how I want things.
You are, and I'm not. And so, but we've learned to be okay with that, though. I don't get upset. You don't get upset. Like, we've learned. So anyway, we want to share 4 things with you today. All right, so jump right in. Number 1.
You go first.
You know what? No, that's not
Play
what
my
I
video
want.
again.
You just said that you want me to help
Hey,
you
at least
do
it
the
started
dishes.
I want
over.
you to want to do the dishes.
Why would I?
Okay, there we go.
Appreciate each other's efforts.
That's right. Appreciate. You have to learn how to appreciate each other's efforts.
You go first.
All right, so one of the most effective ways to create a positive atmosphere when it comes to household chores is by appreciating and acknowledging each other's contribution. And I think that's so important. Sometimes it's real easy for us to think that what our spouse is doing or the item that they're deciding to do or that they focus on is no big deal. And it's funny, right? So our neighborhood's very different when it comes to that, but most men really appreciate the lawn and they want their lawn to look a very pristine way. And they'll spend 8 hours, 10, 12, 14,000 hours a week on their lawn to have it look a very specific way. And the wife's like, that's fine. I don't really care. Like, it could be long. I don't care. Well, our neighborhood's very different. All the women seem to mow their lawn except for our house, but I don't actually mow the lawn.
And
here.
our next door neighbor, Don. mows
Yeah,
the
that's
lawn.
true. Don does.
But everybody else, like all the other ones, it's all the ladies.
Yeah. But how nice would it be, though, if you looked at your spouse and says, hey, look, you know, I may not want to go out and mow the lawn 4 times in a week, but thank you. And I appreciate the effort that you put in. So it makes our home look nice. You know, you don't have to say that you want to go to the ballet, right? That's kind of the whole thing, the funny thing about that video. But it is important that you do say, you know, hey, I appreciate the effort that you're putting in here. It is in our home. It's for our home, right?
Yeah, I agree. And I think it's important to say thank you. And, you go back and forth a little bit about it because as those of you know that watch our podcast regularly and know a little bit about us, Josh is the one that stays at home and he does all the cooking and the grocery shopping and all of those things. So he cooks dinner every single day, And so sometimes I'm just like, I don't want him to think that I expect him to cook dinner every single day. That is the role that him and I have talked about that he does. And so it's like, thanks, babe, for cooking dinner. I don't want him to start feeling like I just expect it, but I also want him to know that I still appreciate him doing it. He's been doing it for 10 years. He puts a lot of thought and effort into our dinners. He tries to change it up. So we're constantly eating different things and he's always trying to think outside the box and he really puts a lot of effort into it. It's very good dinners. It's not box dinners or like Nukem dinners. It's like
Stofers.
meals that he's making. So I think it's important to look at what your spouse is doing and thank them. It's letting each other know that you appreciate one another. And I do that sometimes. Like I'll be walking around and some days when I'm just like, man, our house is so dirty. Like the baseboards need to get washed and this and that. And then I sit back and I think about what are all the things that I do around the house and the things that I do. And then I start looking around like, okay, those are the things that I do. What's left over? There's a lot. Okay, I'm going to tell you. So what's all the stuff that Josh does? And Josh does a lot around the house too. So it's like we can get caught up in our own minds sometimes about the things that we're frustrated about. Whether we're frustrated about our spouse doing it or not is beside the point. But if we start getting frustrated and then I start talking to him about that, like our house is disgusting, he takes that personally because he does the majority of the labor around the house. And so we have to be conscientious of that stuff and make sure that we notice the things that they are doing or he's doing and say thank you for that. Like, hey, I noticed. Sometimes I don't notice things. And then a couple days will go by, I think sometimes. And then he'll say, did you ever notice I did that? And I'm like, oh, no. But I sure noticed when it wasn't done.
I think that's normal, though.
Yeah.
I think that's natural. It's easy for us to spot the things that need to get done.
Yeah.
And then if it does get done, it's like, oh,
you don't notice it anymore.
Didn't even notice it anymore because it was just supposed to be done
Yeah.
in our mind, right?
Yeah.
But I think, I think we overlook the power of appreciation.
Yes.
I think, we to us, we're like, oh, our children need appreciation, right? Because they're little and they're kids and they need that for encouragement. Look, we all do. Everybody does. And I know that if I'm encouraged to do something or I'm encouraged after I had done something, like, wow, thank you so much for doing that. Believe it or not, that goes a long way. It makes me feel proud of what I did, and it makes me want to keep doing it or do more. In all reality, it really honestly does. And I think there's so much power in that. So just appreciating each other's efforts goes a long way, and stop looking for them to just, so I'm going to say this to you, so you say this for me, and that's you don't want to give a compliment to get a compliment.
No, I would never do that. But what it helps is a lot of times we can be doing stuff around our house and then start thinking to ourselves, my spouse never even notices that I do these things. And so you saying something to your spouse, like me going around and saying, hey, Josh, I really noticed the bathroom's really clean. It looks really good. Thank you for doing that. Or, hey, the dinner was very, very good tonight. Thank you so much for doing that. It's letting him know that I noticed because he could be doing all these things. And I know he's human, that sometimes he's like, I do all this stuff all the time. And you feel underappreciated about those things. So it's letting them know that it's noticed and you appreciate it.
Yeah. And don't allow I think what you just said was really good though, because I think it's important. Don't allow when your spouse responds with, hey, that's my job. Because sometimes I do say that. Mm-hmm. Don't allow that to mean like, oh, they don't care or they're dismissing it. No. Maybe they're just not in the right mind frame to accept what you're saying, but it gets heard. Trust me, it does. It does. It gets heard.
Yeah, because I hate it when you say that.
Oh, I'm sure you do.
You're like, oh, it's my job. Well, yeah, it's your job, but that doesn't mean that I shouldn't appreciate it. Like, we do have specific roles, but that doesn't mean that I don't appreciate it because you could choose not to do it. And then our relationship would be worse. So you care about our relationship, so you take what your roles are in the relationship seriously. Yeah.
Well, I kind of look at it like when you do, because the laundry you do.
Yeah.
Right? Now, I don't think that you should be folding and putting away the kids' stuff, but I definitely want you to fold and put away my stuff, just so we're clear on appreciation.
Yeah.
Okay? All right. What's the next point? Right? Teamwork makes the dream work.
Yes. Household chores can present an excellent opportunity to work together as a team. And this is actually something fun that Josh and I do together is we clean the garage out, usually in the summertime. We haven't done it this year.
I'm not going to go as far as fun, but yes, we do it together.
That is fun.
Oh, okay.
It's fun. We organize it. We clean it out. It doesn't take us very long to do it, but we're out there together and we're outside. We're outside, and it's a sense of like the other day when I was walking around, like, and I kept saying I completed all 3 things. I completed all like that's how it works for me.
No, I know it does.
Like I'm just
like to check them boxes.
Yeah, like,
we need to get in the garage and make a checklist
so I can cross it off.
Yeah, so you can cross it off.
Yes.
Yeah, that's exactly what we do. But it is important, right? Teamwork is something that's important, and we need to look at things that go on within our home as teamwork. Mm-hmm. Right? Maybe there is large tasks that can be shared. Let's go back to lawn work. Now it's an easy scenario to play out because let's say that maybe your wife mows the lawn. Well, the husband can go out and say, you know what? I'm going to trim everything. Like we can do this together without, saying, oh, well, outside stuff's just yours, and so on and so forth. So I think it's just really important that you look at all the different tasks that you have that go on within your home as an opportunity to come together as a team, because ultimately you are a team.
Yeah.
It's not like solo riders, like you have your stuff you go do and I have my stuff I go do.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be that way. It's kind of like the baseboards thing, right? Like we can sit and say, well, I shouldn't have to do that. But at the same time, and be like, no, we can do this together.
Yeah, we can do that. That's stuff that we could do together.
Yeah, we could do together.
So, and that's what I love about you and I. It's like, I have specific things that I do. You have specific things that you do. There's still things in there that don't get done, but those are things that we could do together. And then that way we both feel that it goes quicker and, we can see who does it better.
Yeah, I don't know. That's a weird thing. Like you're an organized person, but when it comes to cleaning, like
I have ADHD.
Yeah, you have ADHD. Even projects outside, like
yeah.
Remember all the rocks we took out, all the rock beds out there? You started at one, realized, oh, this is a lot of work. I'm going to go over here and do this. And then you go over there and start something, and then you move on to something else.
I'd come back to the rocks.
You have to come back to the rocks, and then you went inside.
I like to bounce around.
You're like, I'm done with this.
Because I get bored really quick of one particular task. And then I'm like, okay, I'm going to go over here and try this task. And then I'll do that. And I'll be like, yeah, I'm done with this one. I want to go over here and do this task. And yeah, I bounce around.
You do.
I would start
a lot of squirrel.
What I have found that works for me when it comes to cleaning the house, it's actually instead of like, okay, I'm going to go around the whole house and clean all the baseboards in the whole house. That doesn't work for me. So I need to go room by room. So you clean the whole room, like top to bottom, clean that room. And then when you're done with that room's done. So then if I get that done and then I don't want to clean anymore for the day, that's okay. I've completed one whole room. And then the next day I could do another room. So that's what works for me. Yeah,
that does work. I'm more like a speed person, right? Like I'm like, if the lawn needs to be raked, I'm like, I can get this done in 15 minutes. And our front yard's not a small front yard. I mean, it's not huge, but it's not small.
It's small.
But 15, right. Right. It's easy to say. She'll rake up a little pile and she'll be like, I'm done.
It's easy for him.
She's like, I'll go inside now. Okay. So teamwork makes the dream work, right?
You do about, when him and I are doing something together, he probably gets done, I'm not exaggerating, about 4 times as much that I get done in the same time frame. Because he's a very lickety-split person.
We're different workers, though.
Yeah.
Right? We're different workers. I am like, give me a task. I'm going to go take care of it. I give you get a task. You're like, who can I get to complete this task for me? Right? It's just like work for you. It's just like work. And you're very efficient, right? You'll encourage people. You'll help them along. What do you want? Something to drink? Like, that's what you do. That's what you do.
It's empowering them to show them that they can do things for themselves.
I'm capable of that too, but this is about sharing chores together.
You do it best, though.
Team.
You are very, very good. I have never seen somebody. Seriously.
I know. This is what she's doing. It's good. She's encouraging me at the highest level. I want to go out now and rake leaves. See? That's what's happening right now.
He actually is amazing, though. The first time I saw him like working and stuff, I'm like, man, you're so fast.
I don't want to sit here and do this all day. Like, I want to get it done.
I would hurt myself, though.
Yeah, I do too.
And he knows that. Like, I would be laying out on the yard. Like, my back would be broken.
I do too. I like chopped a tree down that was next to our house.
Nobody can even see it.
I know. It's a bobo. It was yucky. It hurts really bad.
Let me see.
I hope it's not infected. I don't know. I got jabbed anyway, so I get hurt too. Nothing anybody gives a tar about that. Okay, so let's move on. Number 3. Let's talk about fairness and managing expectations. fairness in managing expectations.
So this is a good one for me to talk about because him and I work and we have decided that he stayed home. This was the beginning of our relationship. We were talking
14
about
years now.
Yes. So balancing household chores is not always dividing tasks equally, but about fairness and managing the expectations. So I came to him though, because I really did feel bad. Some of it also is other people. So they'd come over to our house and I've gotten over this now, but people come over our house and he's in the kitchen, like if we're hosting something and I'm sitting on the couch, right? Sitting on the couch, talking to people on my phone, like whatever. And he's running around the kitchen doing all this stuff. And people I know for a fact are like, she's just sitting there and he's like doing all of this stuff. But that's what we do. Because I used to try to be like, do you want me to help, babe? And first off, I ruin everything. I drop stuff and I get in his way. He's
You're
very
messy,
fast.
and you're messy too.
Yes. And he's very fast, like we just said. Okay. He's very fast. And he gets like a rhythm and a symphony going, like with the way that he does things. And so now I'm like, he's fine. He has it more under control. I'll slow him down actually, which he doesn't like, when he's in his kitchen doing his stuff. But then people will come over and be like, well, where's this dish? I don't know. Ask Josh. I don't know where them dishes are. So
She doesn't even know where the salt is.
No. No. So I came home though, and I was feeling bad. Like, I don't want to come home and do nothing. Like, I'm at work all day. I come home. This is my house too. I don't want to not do anything for the household. And I can't stand it. So him and I were talking and I do the laundry for the family. So I do the laundry and I fold it and I put it away. I mean, sometimes it takes me a few days to put it away, but it's usually separated out in the living room in piles. So everybody knows where it's at. But I do all the laundry and there's other small things I do. Like he takes out the big trash. I usually empty the bathroom trashes and switch them out. And I fill our Q-tip holder.
Yeah.
There's just little things that I do too, but it just makes me feel better, that I'm contributing to the house.
And I only have a small expectation, right? So I've learned that if I try to do laundry, if I feel like laundry's getting backed up and she hasn't done it and I go to do it, I'm actually insulting her by doing that.
Yeah.
Right? And because I don't care. Like, I don't care. And when we say do laundry, most people are like, I put the laundry in the washer and then I move the laundry to the dryer and then I take them out of the dryer. That's doing laundry. No, my wife does not. She puts it in the washer. She puts it in the dryer. She takes it out. She folds it. She hangs it. She does all the socks. She puts everybody's laundry away in the whole flippin' house. Everybody. She does it every single week. That's doing laundry. So trust me, when we talk about fairness and managing expectations, I have zero expectations of that. Now, our children have those expectations because they've been set, right? Like my son, he goes away to college, right? He goes to Michigan State. So he comes home on the weekends. What's he do? He brings his basket. And Christy's like, Josh, where's your basket? Did you put it in the laundry room? He's like, I did. And she goes in there and she does all of his laundry for him, folds it, puts it all in his basket so he can take it back. Every time. Yeah, he bragged about it because we helped him move the other day because he moved in with a friend.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I'm like, hey, this kid, he doesn't need to use the washing machine and dryer in the house at all, just so you're clear. I'm like, he takes it all home to my wife. And Josh is like, that's right. And she likes doing it.
I do.
So it
really makes me feel like I'm, serving him, doing something for him.
It is.
So
It's sweet.
I love doing it.
Yeah,
actually.
it is sweet. But I think we have to really manage our expectations of what we have on our spouse. Because for me, I do work, right? I do have a part-time position that I do for the church, and off and on over our tenure. I've been off and on in school, back on now, and I have other things, right? I used to pick up and drop off kids from school and, all these other things, right? So I have a lot of things that I do other than just like sit here and wear an apron, right? And just, dust things all day. Like that's not the case. And we have some healthy expectations around that stuff. Kristy doesn't walk in the house and think, oh my gosh, like, why is there dog toys on the floor? Because that's our youngest now is a dog. So there's dog toys. She doesn't come in and be like, I can't believe those dog toys have been there for 3 days.
Oh, yeah.
She could care less, right? We manage our expectations of what there is. She doesn't walk in the door. At least she doesn't tell me this, and I don't think she thinks it. She doesn't walk in the door and be like, what have you been doing all day? It looks like you've done 0 things all day. Because I think she knows better. Mm-hmm. Number one, and in all fairness, in managing expectations, that's just not how we are.
Yeah.
We communicate very well about the things that we do. We always brief each other. Every day. What did you do today? What did you do today? And some days I'm like, I did all this stuff. And then for like 3 hours, I did nothing, and okay. And sometimes on the weekend, she's like, I didn't get to the laundry at all on Sunday. I don't care. You know, you start put some loads that she does, right? But that's what I'm saying, though. Yeah. We manage the expectations of that.
So, but I'll give you an example. So, and I don't remember the exact thing, but a lot of times towels, for some reason, I know the towels seem like the easiest things to put away, but I really don't like towels. I'll wash them, dry them, and I hate folding them up and putting them away. I don't know why. And so I'll ask him like, hey, can you fold the towels for me and put them away? And when he, like, if you see the way he puts away towels, I'm not kidding you. It looks like you're walking into like a Sears and Roebuck store and a professional towel folder came in and stacked them up so like a machine did it. And I would put them all away and you go in there, they're folded. Okay, but they're kind of, one's fat, one's thin, it's kind of leaning, you know, a little bit, all this stuff. It's very impressive how he does it. But one time a couple times, you know, he'll say like, oh, I'm going to get the towels. I don't ask him about it. He'll just be like, hey, I'll bring the basket out, put it in the living room. And then he's like, oh, I'll get to the towels tomorrow. And then I'll come home and that basket of towels is still sitting there. So a lot of times though, I'm like, hey, how was your day, babe? What did you do today? And then he'll say something like, I was out in the yard for 4 hours this morning and I raked up all the leaves and I got a boo-boo because I went over to our HVAC system and cleaned out all that. And that's stuff that I wouldn't notice. So that's why it's important though to manage your expectations on those things, is because you may come home and you see the one thing that they said that they were going to do and they didn't get to it. Yeah. But instead of coming in and being like, oh, the towels are still there, I see. Because I don't care, number one, whether or not the towels are put away that day or not, similar to him. But number two, he did a lot of stuff that I didn't even notice. Yeah. And so I need to make sure that I'm listening to him, hearing him, and then being like, wow, thank you so much for doing that, because that's something that I don't have to do now. Right?
Yeah, which is a plus.
Yes.
And honestly, and there is days where, even on the weekends, where, look, we didn't feel like doing anything.
Yeah.
And we just didn't do anything. Yeah. But that's not the norm, though.
No.
We're not normally that way, but we're not going to be like, oh my gosh, I can't believe you didn't do any of the laundry this weekend.
Yeah, no.
Like, you had a 4-day weekend off work and you didn't do any laundry.
Well, he knows.
I could care less.
I beat myself up about it. Like,
you do, though, but I don't, though. I manage my expectations of you. That's what this is about, right? Yeah. So we have to manage your expectations of your spouse. Like, I am the one always coaching her, but like, it's fine. Like, you know, first off, we're all adults. If someone needs to go put a load of laundry in themselves one time, you know, just because Chrissy just didn't feel like doing it on the weekend, everybody will get over it. We're all grown-ups here. Mm-hmm. We can figure it out, right? Or I can go put a load in. How much energy does it really take? Because apparently she didn't feel like doing it. Maybe she needs that rest. And I feel that way. I believe in that. Mm-hmm. And that's managing an expectation of each other, right? All right, so the fourth thing, I'm going to click on it because I don't know if it's going to be weird or not. Boom. What about serving each other? Oh, serving each other.
So, did we do all three already?
I think so, yeah.
Appreciate each other's efforts. Teamwork makes the dream work. Fairness and managing expectations.
Yes.
Oh, yeah, wow.
And then number 4 is serve each other.
That was fast.
It is fast.
Lickety split is what we did. Serve each other. In a Christian marriage, chores should be less about the tasks themselves and more about a desire to serve your partner. And I love that. That is so true. Because a lot of times we're thinking like, I have to do these stupid dishes again. Like, I don't think that because I don't do the dishes. But I'm sure Josh thinks that sometimes. Like, I have to do these stupid dishes again for all these ungrateful degenerates.
I don't think that. So I don't feel that way.
I just wanted to say
I haven't had to work a job in 14 years. The last thing I'm going to do is complain about doing some dishes, okay?
I love his perspective, though. He always is able to hold the big picture perspective, which is very good. I would not be able to do that because sometimes I'd be like, I don't feel like doing these gosh dang dishes. Somebody else could do these stupid dishes. I know that's the way I would feel.
Yeah, I don't, though. I don't. I do look at it as an opportunity, though, to serve you. Like, I want you, like...
I was done with my thought.
You stopped and looked at me, so okay.
No, I'm just saying.
Well, come on, finish it up.
I'm just saying I know that I would feel that way sometimes because I hate, number one, I hate doing household chores. And so I think it's important to look at it not about the specific task or doing household chores, but doing it to serve, you know, your partner and saying, hey, you know, this is something for me to be a good teammate with Josh in this marriage and to pull my weight. in our house.
Yeah, and I look at like serving you in the sense like, something that I love to do is cook. I do enjoy cooking, and I want to make sure that I cook things that Kristy likes. I'm not the person that says, oh well, you like it or don't. I'm the one that cooked it, so you need to eat it. I'm just not that person, right? I am always looking for ways, to adjust things in a way that's something that she's gonna like. It's not like I know Kristy doesn't like pickles on hamburgers. The last thing I'm going to do is be like, well, I do and everybody else likes pickles on these, so you're eating pickles. Like, I don't believe in that mindset of that.
Yeah.
I think we grew up in that mindset.
Mm-hmm.
Like, this is liver and this is what's for dinner, and if you don't eat it, too bad.
Mm-hmm.
Look, you can just take the liver off the plate and have the kids eat the rest of the stuff. It's fine. Like, it's okay. It's all right. But I just feel like there's a way that we can do these chores in the way that is serving. Like, the whole reason why Kristy even started doing the laundry, honestly, is because she felt like she wasn't serving our household or even me in a specific way, and she needed to fulfill that, right? You enjoy doing that. You like it when I say, babe, I'm proud of you. Thank you so much for doing these things. Thank you. And we get in a level of appreciation from that. And it really comes down because it's a level of service to each other, right?
I agree with that.
Yeah. Not just about cleaning or tidying up, but about showing love to your partner by making your shared living space comfortable and pleasant together. And I think that is important.
Him and I, we should probably do a podcast one time on like the guy's viewpoint of certain things and a girl's viewpoint of certain things, because him and I have had multiple discussions about, he's like, you work, that's what you do. You work and you provide for, financially for our family. And that is your role. And my role is everything else. And I don't feel that way. I am like, all I do is go to work. That's all I do. Like, I need to do so much more. And he's like, that is enough though. Like, that is your job, And I don't think that way. And it's just really, really odd to me, the difference of the way that my perspective on it and your perspective on it, how they're so different.
I'm a 1950s housewife. Okay. That's how I feel. I mean, in the sense of the mindset when it comes to like, no, this is your job. This is what you do. And I'll just do all the rest.
Yeah.
I mean, I say that, tongue in cheek. I'm saying it to be funny.
Yeah, I know.
But honestly, I'm like, I can manage all of this stuff. I was single for a while and had kids, and I managed to do all of the stuff.
Yeah.
So I have an appreciation of what it takes to do all of the things. Kristy in her last relationship had to do all of the things a lot of the time.
Mm-hmm.
And so I have a different level of appreciation. I don't feel like I'm being taken advantage of. I don't feel like any of that stuff. I feel like you go and you do something that takes a lot of time for you to do and commit, right? As you close your eyes and nod your head, right? And so the least that could be done is that this seesaw that we live on is balanced by the other things that I can do. That's the least that can be done. I don't feel like I'm a slave to it. I honestly believe that it ties into the final point. It's about serving you. This is my way that I can serve you because of the sacrifice that you make. And we sacrifice together. And that's why it works.
Yeah.
Right?
I sacrifice time with my kids.
And your husband.
Sad.
And away from the home.
Yeah.
I know. And that's what men have had to do for how long,
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not saying that to say that's right or wrong. I'm just saying it's, you're so good at it. You found a lot of success in that. And we still continue to agree that's where God wants it to be, in that way. So we don't argue with that. But the least I could do is uphold this side of the fence while you're gone. So.
And I think to me, it's just the level of importance. So having a job and having a career and providing financially to the family, for the family, in comparison to managing the household, making a home, a nice place to nourish the kids, raise the kids, having a loving home, is the level of importance, if you do have your morals correct and everything else, is so different. So the level of importance of what I do compared to the level of importance of what you do, it's night and day, the difference. And that's the way that I feel about it.
I know you do. And I don't agree.
Yeah.
I think I couldn't be home to do all these things if it wasn't for the sacrifice you've decided to make. Can't do it.
Yeah.
If you didn't have the level that you have at work, then I'm not able to stay home. I would have to work to be able to make ends meet. And we haven't had to do that.
Yeah.
And because of that, I'm able to be at home with the kids and, you know, teach them new weird crazy games on a trampoline and like, you know, and do, you know, play video games with them and like, you know, be able to become friends with their friends. So they, you know, this is the house they come and be part of. And, you know, and then we can manage and raise these kids the way that they deserve to be raised, the way that we want to raise them.
Yeah.
You know, so the level of importance looks different from my end.
Yeah. That's true.
You know, it does. It works though. And that's why like we have to drop the whole chore wars. Like I know that's the title.
I love that title. Though.
Being funny, but we have to drop it, you know, and start understanding like in this marriage, it's all about serving each other for the betterment of the family as a whole. You know, things have to get done, right? Not everyone's going to live like hoarders, right? Where like you just live in filth all the time. Like things get done, right? Things need to get done. And we have to stop thinking I'm the one that does everything. And if you think that you are, you need to sit down, you need to have hard conversations with your spouse and say, I have some expectations and I need to get these out of the way. And we need to have some discussions around them to solve it, to make your marriage work.
Because what if your spouse comes back and says, thank you for talking about this because I feel like I do everything.
That's most likely is the conversation.
And then it's like,
yeah. Yeah, or they feel entitled or whatever.
Yeah.
And that's the beginning of a conversation now to put an X in the chore wars and start solving the problems and moving forward.
That's right.
That's right. All right. Anything else before we close? Okay.
No, it's good.
All right. So
we
next
need to go
week.
do a cold plunge.
She wants to do a cold plunge. So next week, next episode, I think this is episode 23, season 7. So next episode, we actually are going to have an interview. We haven't had an interview in a while. And this is a really fun couple we're going to have on because it's a different perspective than what we've ever had on before. And that's all I'm going to say about it. So, right?
Yeah.
That's right. So, all right. So
I like doing interviews though, because they're a lot of fun.
it is fun. It is fun. Next week's going to be a lot of fun. So you're going to want to stay tuned. And Tuesday, 7 p.m. live, we'll be here. We'll see you then.
That's all, folks.